Hey, welcome to step 3 of our 3-step video series. In this final video, I'm going to teach you the most effective way to maximize your shooting range so that you can shoot effortlessly from anywhere on the floor. So first, we're going to quickly look at what the science says about maximizing your shooting range. Then we'll break down some of the best shooters to see if they're following these same scientific principles. And finally, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to maximize your range. I want to teach you how the best shooters in the world can shoot the ball so effortlessly from so far, and I want to show you that this is not something that only these professional players can do. With the right information and the right techniques, this is something that you can learn to do as well, and you can use this information to drastically increase your shooting range. So let's get started and quickly look at the science. Here is an analysis of Andrew Wiggins jumping. I won't get too much into the physics of this, and I'll try to simplify it as much as possible, but if you have any questions, feel free to email me or leave it in the comments below. The pink and blue lines on the left side are tracking the force that he's applying into the ground with his right and left leg. When he's just standing upright before he starts his jump, that is the baseline level of force. And now you can see that he's starting to flex his hips and bend his knees as he prepares to explode upwards. Right when he's about to start exploding upwards, he has reached a point of maximum force. So now that he's about to start jumping upwards, all the force that is created from now on after this point will be upward force that can be used to increase shooting range. But how? How do we use that force properly to maximize shooting range? The key to maximizing shooting range is maximizing momentum. So all of this upward force created by his lower body is converted into momentum. So as he is producing upward force, his momentum is increasing. Once we get back down to this baseline level, there is no more usable upward force being created, and that means that we have reached max momentum. The point at which you reach max momentum is usually right before your knees straighten out and just before your feet come off the ground. Remember, the key to maximizing shooting range is to maximize momentum. So if we want to maximize our shooting range, we should start to push the ball forward right at this point. By pushing the ball forward right before your knee straightens out and just before your feet come off the ground, you'll be able to make use of every ounce of energy created by your lower body and hips. So now that we know this, if we break down and study some of the best shooters in the world, it would make sense if they were following these same scientific principles. Let's look at Steph Curry's shot. He starts to bring the ball up to his set point or push point, and before he starts to push the ball forward, he has built up momentum by using the force created by his legs and hips. Remember, we said that the point of max momentum is usually when the knee is just about to straighten and your feet are about to come off the ground. So now the ball is at his push point, and based on the science, for maximum range, he should start to push the ball forward right now. On most of Curry's shots, he's actually pushing at his point of max momentum, so his shot is really efficient. So what about James Harden? Same concept. This is his point of max momentum. For him to maximize his shooting range, he needs to start to push the ball forward right now. By releasing at the perfect time and not pausing the ball on the way up, they drastically increase their usable momentum, and that allows them to shoot with unlimited range. That's what is commonly called a one-motion shot. And that's exactly why Curry, Harden, and Lillard don't have to jump high at all on their jump shot. Their timing is so perfect, and that allows them to maximize the energy created by their legs and hips. Now, you don't have to release exactly at this point, but that is where you'll get the most range. There are many great shooters who shoot after this point and on the way up, but I just wanted you to know that every millisecond that passes after that point, your momentum starts to decrease. So now let's look at Kobe's shot. Kobe reaches his point of max momentum right here. But instead of starting to push the ball forward here, he holds the ball at a set point while he's in the air. Every second that passes after that point of max momentum, gravity is working against you. And that means that you'll have less momentum to work with. So every second that you pause the ball at your set point after leaving the ground, you are losing momentum and you are not maximizing the force created by your legs. This means that if you start your release close to the peak of your jump, most of the power will be coming from your arms and wrist, and that will give you less range and will also affect your accuracy. This is what is commonly called a two-motion shot. Now let's look at a different clip of Kobe shooting. In this clip, he starts to push the ball forward right at the point of max momentum, which is right before his feet come off the ground. You can tell that when he shoots like this, he doesn't jump high at all, and his shot looks much smoother and much more effortless than when he hangs in the air. And again, you don't have to start pushing the ball forward at that exact point, but if you are struggling with your range, the sooner you start to push the ball forward after your point of max momentum, the easier your shot will feel and the more range you will have. So what can you do to start maximizing your shooting range? Now that you know exactly where you have to push the ball forward, you can experiment with your timing. If you're struggling with your range, focus on starting to push the ball towards the net just as your feet are about to leave the ground, and try not to pause the ball on the way up. That's going to give you the momentum you need to maximize your shooting range. Make sure you record yourself. Set up a video camera to record a side view of your shot and compare it to the clips I showed you. If you're struggling with your range, the sooner you push the ball forward after that point of max momentum, the easier it will be to improve your range. Over the coming months, I'm going to continue releasing videos and sending you tips to help you improve your shooting. But I'm also interested in knowing specifically what you want to learn more about, so that I can make sure that all the emails and videos I provide are relevant to you and help you get better. So if you could take 2 minutes to answer a few questions about your single biggest shooting challenge and what you want to learn more about, that would be amazing and extremely helpful. Thanks again for completing our 3-step video series, and I hope you enjoyed the videos. As always, feel free to leave your comments and send me an email with any questions.